Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Podcast Named Deferred. I'm your host, Seven. Erika is actually hanging out with me this week, so she is here with us, and we'll be still definitely getting down to the conversation about what we're going to talk about today. And then, of course, to my immediate side, I believe that's technically right. I don't know. To my immediate right, we have got the man, the myth, the legend, sexiest man of Santa Clarita in 1972. Craig Newton, everybody. How's it going, man?
I'm loving that music intro. I don't know if the listeners can hear it, but man, that fires me up. That's awesome. Hell yeah. Ready to go.
Dude, that song was great. I think I'm gonna go back and edit the intro though and pull the music level down a little bit because I was through the headphones that Erika and I are using so we can both hear. It comes in a lot louder than I thought it was. So I need to work on that.
I liked it. It was good.
For our fans that are watching that may now be deaf, I apologize. So, man, we're going to start. We're going to take a walk around the league today. We're going to talk about what's going on in baseball. We're not the one. We always say it's not time to panic until Memorial Day. Guess what? Memorial Day just passed, so we got to talk about who should be in panic mode at this point. But I want to start by talking about a topic that just seems to get hotter as the season goes on. Juan Soto is definitely showing why you should not give fuck you money to a guy that's just gonna say fuck you. Juan Soto.
Hey, you might want to vote.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good idea. Juan Soto is come on. Damn thing. Okay, Juan Soto is in a bad state. Over the course of this season, across 55 games, he's hitting .224 with 45 hits, only 8 home runs, 25 RBIs, and 34 runs scored in 55 games this season. This is his, so far, like Erika and I were talking about earlier, she asked, this is the worst season he's had up to this point of his career. Is it too soon to start saying he should have stayed with the Yankees? Craig, what do you think?
Oh. Well, let's see. What does that work out to as far as salary-wise, the home runs? What's that average? Break that down. What's each home run costing the Mets?
So right now we're at about $100 million a home run. It's based on what we've gotten so far.
What a bargain!
That's not very much in baseball money. So I don't know.
I mean, it sounds like a great bargain to me for the Mets, who gave up their triple fucking A on top of it for this dude. Like, this is kind of crazy. This is because like Tony said, like I even asked, this is probably his worst season since he's been in, and yeah, it is. It's crazy.
And when you look at. And there's things that you look at with his past performance. Like last year, he led the league in runs scored. Last year, he led the league in in 2023, he led the league in walks, and he played all 162 games. Like he's actually had. There was let's see, between 2020 and 2022, those 3 seasons there. Obviously, we get the 2020 was the shortened season, but like he led multiple categories across the league in all 3 of those years. And now we're at $100 million a home run. Like, if you're the Yankees, where do you start to freak out? Like, where's the time that you start to get worried about, or if you're the Mets, when is it time to start panicking? Like, really?
Now, right now.
What do they do?
I mean, shouldn't they have kind of started freaking out a little while ago when they started realizing that he wasn't producing the way that he should have been, and what they gave up for him? Like, I mean, seriously, let's think about it. I mean, like, the Mets are fucked. Like, they don't have their triple anymore. They sold it to get Soto, and he's not producing. He's not. They really fucked up. Just my opinion. They really fucked up.
I get it. It's hard to justify everything at this point. Now, he could come to a point where after the All-Star break, he just cracks one off and we're talking about a completely different player. But when you're only looking at 8 home runs and we're now at the end of May, a player of his caliber should be doing a lot better. Aaron Judge is in a much better position with his numbers. Shohei Ohtani already has 20, and I think Aaron Judge is like 1 or 2 behind him for home runs in Major League Baseball. Where's it? Let's see, batting average, home runs. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. So Shohei has 20, Cal Raleigh has 19, Judge has 18, Schwarber, that dude cannot pass a donut stand, but he can sure hit a home run. Carroll, the D-backs, has 16. Like, this is like how Juan Soto has hit less home runs than Corbin Carroll, who faces a much more difficult division than Juan Soto.
And also,
Like,
Carroll was injured for a while too.
He's I think he's still out.
I want to say, isn't he still out? I think he's.
I gotta.
Yeah, I think he's still out.
Yeah, I think he's. No. Hold on. No, he might be back in. He may not have missed as much time as I thought, because he just played today. He went 2 for 5, had a home run, an RBI, struck out 3 times. So kind of nothing for him. But Soto should. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking Corbin Carroll. I don't think he's a bad baseball player. I love Corbin Carroll. But Juan Soto should be putting up better numbers than Corbin Carroll. Is that a fair statement?
Do you say that because of the money or because he's a better player? He's a better player. Money aside, he's a better player.
Yeah. No, athletically, Soto should be doing better. He should be sitting up there. In my mind, he should be top 3 sitting on that right now for home runs. But he's not even there.
It's money notwithstanding. Like, I think the money impacts it. I think the money actually just makes it worse. But when you look at pure talent, yes, I do think that Juan Soto is a better baseball player than Corbin Carroll. And there is absolutely no reason that Juan Soto, like, how do you, because, like, we'll use Rafi Devers as an example. Rafi Devers had started the season 0 for 19 before he got hit. He was like 0 for, I think he was actually in the 0 for 20 or something like that before he got his first hit. Rafi Devers is now on pace for 34 home runs.
About time he stepped up.
Dude, if you watch the show, I was pretty pissed. But that's my point. Like, everybody was talking about how bad of a start Rafi Devers had, and even as a Red Sox fan, like, I'm not saying he didn't. He had a bad start. Where, like we're just now starting to actually see criticism on Soto. And I don't think that you can't tell me that it's simply just because of the fact he was changing teams. He just has to drive a little farther down the street.
Yeah.
Those two stadiums aren't but 20 miles apart? Like something
And the
like that.
pitching's
Like,
better in the American League.
Exactly.
The pitching's better. The pitching shouldn't be an excuse.
It's no. And you're 100% correct. It shouldn't be an excuse. But like when you look at the top five pitchers in the league as far as wins are concerned and ERA, you've got Yankees pitcher, Astros pitcher, Robbie Ray, and Brandon Pfaadt. And then, so that's Giants and D-backs. And then Yankees pitcher, Royals pitcher, Mets, Rangers for ERA. Like it's clearly the better pitching is in the American League.
Yep.
And even when you look at saves for bullpen, that's a huge number. Seattle, and then Suarez in San Diego. San Diego is the only, pretty sure, because then again from the Nationals. Nationals aren't a National League team. Sorry. So two is Nationals, and then Royals, Astros for Estevez and Hader. For that, those are the top five for saves. Like, there is clearly better pitching in the American League.
Yep.
And when you look at, like, especially even looking at like the schedule for what the Mets have faced, like we're talking to start the season, Houston, who wasn't themselves, they still lost 2 of those 3 games. The Mets did. They only got 2 or 3 in Miami, and Miami's going to be dog water all year.
Yep.
And then when they face Miami again the next week and still only get 2 of the 3. They only won 2 of the 3 out of the Athletics. They only beat the Twins once in that next series. And then they did go on a 6-7 game heater right there against St. Louis and Philadelphia, but that was end of April when St. Louis and Philadelphia still hadn't figured out who they were as a team. And then and not one of these teams, with the exception of Hader on the Astros, which they faced him probably twice. They faced him twice in that 3-game series. That is the best pitching that they've faced all season so far.
Yep.
Was a closer twice. Soto should be hitting at least 275 to 300 right now.
Yep.
And it's my concern, and one of the reasons this pisses me off is there are some players that deserve to absolutely paid. PAYD paid. And right now, a lot of teams are starting to look at what's going on with Soto, and they're going to start using that as justification and not give these guys the money that they deserve. And that's going to have a negative impact on baseball. We're already worrying about the strike that's going to come after the season. And now we have guys like Soto that are messing up the money for future players, and that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to build the base up so that they get theirs too.
Well,
like, am I wrong on that?
No, but you bring up a good point with that strike. I mean, these players that are going to be looking to sign, they already know that they're going to take it in the shorts, but they're going to sign because they want to get that contract before the strike. I mean, that's where the owners have got the players by the short hairs, and the owners know it. They can wait them out. The players can't wait out the owners. They will sign for much less money than they normally would be getting, just to make sure they get signed underneath before that strike goes out.
100%. No, you're absolutely. It's frustrating for me, and we'll kind of use that to segue. Talking about the Mets, because we'll start with the Mets, the National League. The Mets are fighting with the Phillies for first place in the NL East. They are 34-22. They're really 2 games back from Philadelphia. And doing much better at home and away. Because they're only 13 and 15 away, but 21 and 7 at home. So I want to see. I wish I splits for Juan Soto away and home, because I would almost be willing to bet a majority of those home runs have come at, was that Citibank Field? That's the Mets park.
Yeah.
Am I right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Citibank,
I'd be willing to bet that he's probably hitting better at home, and as a result, that's why they're getting more out of it. That's personal. I mean,
I would think if it's pressure that he's facing, that he'd hit better on the road than he would at home.
And that's what I was about to say, is you would think that he would be hitting better on the road than he was doing at home.
Unless because I mean, Mets fans aren't anywhere near as bad as Yankees fans. And
not yet.
The New York sports right now yet.
Way to go.
The New York sports media is harder on the Yankees than they are on the Mets. There's definitely a slide there. So, but when he goes on the road, all of the opposing fans are talking about how bad he's doing. Mets fans and Mets media, they just want him to start producing so that they have something to talk about. And you're bought in for essentially at least $300 million over the next 5 years. Before you get to that option year, which I think honestly, and I think the option is a player option, where if Soto takes it, then they're on the hook for that money. At least he may not get the raise. So they've got to figure out something with that deal.
Yeah.
Or get him producing. Bring in the Love Guru. I don't know. See if Mike Myers can put on his Love Guru costume and
You should scroll back up. You see that first thing it says?
hitless again. Soto still passes eye test, Mets say. Are the Mets looking past the results?
Yes.
Is that?
That's
oh my God.
Exactly what's going on. I thank you. Because that's what I was about to say, is they're looking past the results.
The Mickey Loomis strategy of running a fucking team. God.
Well, I mean, but also, like, look at Max Muncy from the Dodgers. I mean, he was doing really shitty. And look, he went and saw the eye doctor, and he's got glasses. Muncy's been doing better. So, I mean, like, I could kind of understand that, but I mean, let's be honest. You're trying to cover your asses because you realized you fucked up.
Yeah, I mean,
seriously, why else are you having him go see the eye doctor?
Eye tests what they're. I mean, and they could just mean eye test wise what they're seeing him do, and the Mets have to figure something out though. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They are. I mean, they do have the best run differential in the division, but you're going to be dealing with teams like the Cubs and the Dodgers in the postseason. That's who because especially if the Phillies keep running at the clip that they're running at, because the Phillies are 9-1 in their last. So if you're the Mets, you have to already understanding of the fact that you're going to face a lot harder road in the playoffs, because you're probably going to be the first wild card, which means they would probably at this point be facing the Cubs. And
that's not good for you.
That's
the Cubs have been doing this year.
The Cubs are playing ridiculous right now. And it's
I told you when I saw them in spring training, they were legit.
I like the Cubs as so much talent there, and I love going to Sloan Park. That's such a great spot to watch a ball game.
It really is.
But you don't want the Mets, you don't want the Dodgers, and you don't want the Phillies either.
Well, I mean, you might want the Dodgers if they got Kershaw pitching.
I mean, but that's only one game unless they change him to coming out of the bullpen the way he's been playing.
True.
Which I mean, I could imagine a playoff Kershaw coming out of the bullpen being an asset.
Terrible.
But I thought he should have retired.
I thought he was an asset going up against Arizona, and he gave up like 6 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, including 4 home runs.
He has a horrible
thank you for
postseason
rubbing
record.
it in.
Kershaw has a horrible postseason record.
He does.
Yep.
And like Tony said, he should have just retired.
He He really should have.
I
All right,
love
but
Kershaw, but
speaking of the Philadelphia Phillies, you kind of mentioned them a little bit. They are the second best team in baseball right now. 9-1 in their last 10. They are dominating at home, doing respectable away. Lots of consistency as far as that's concerned, and they haven't had the easiest of schedules. Yeah, some of their more recent games, like they're in a series against the Braves right now, the A's, the Rockies, the Pirates, the Cardinals, the Guardians, but the Rays, the D-backs, the Nats, like they haven't had the hardest of roads, but you got to play the schedule you got, and they're still putting up numbers. Even when, because like I can tell you right now just by looking at it, one of those Pirates games was a Paul Skeens game. Just looking at the score, because it was 1-0. That screams Paul Skeens was on the mound. Just don't even have to look. What's up, Ando? Good to see you, buddy. So let me ask you this, Craig. Do you think Philly can sustain, or is this division still more up for grabs than it may appear?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think it's too early to say that they've got it. I think it's going to be it's up for grabs right now for sure.
Yeah, yourself. Okay.
It could end up being the best division come down the wire as far as the most intense, as far as who's going to take it.
Yeah, it's I can definitely see that one being more competitive, because like, especially when you look at some of the other, just in the National League, the Cubs are 2.5 games ahead of the Cardinals. The Brewers are 6 games back. The Reds are 7 games back, and the Pirates are already mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Like they're consistent, 17-10 at home, 17-11 away. The highest run differential in the National League at +94, 8-2 in their last 10. I would say they're probably the one that is the most secure at the top of their division. What do you think?
Yes.
Well, I mean, for the
break it
National
down.
League anyway.
Was that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said for the National League anyway.
Yeah.
Because I with the AL Central, Tigers aren't going anywhere, but we'll talk about that. The Cardinals' resurgence. Anything to come of it? Are they a wild card team?
Could be. Their pitching has definitely improved. I mean, yeah, it could be.
and if they stay on the track they've been on to a point, yeah, they definitely could be.
8 games above 500. 6-4 in the last 10, respectable. I mean, if you stay 6-4 out of every 10, you're doing fine. Really.
Yeah.
I would be extremely happy if my team won 60% of their games, because that's a playoff. That's playoff worth.
Yep.
So, definitely some weight there. We'll slide down. Pittsburgh Pirates, 21-36 to start the season.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. I mean, do you just sit Paul Skeens now, or do you just sit Paul Skeens now so you can get more distance out of his arm? Like, don't pretend to take Tommy Johns now so we can just bring you back next season. It can look like a miraculous recovery. And that way we can just try to, get in a better position, maybe make some trades, get more assets for next season. Like, I mean, do you wait till the break to do it? So you don't have to worry about his arm, or what do you do?
I'd wait till the break.
To wait. Yeah, like I don't
Wait
think
till
they
break.
have a choice but to wait.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. Generational pitching talent and on a bargain basement team. And he can't even win when he throws a gem, because like they said, that series that the with the Mets playing the Phillies playing the Pirates. I knew the Paul Skeens game because it was a 1-0 score. he had like seven and 10 outings where he gave up 1 run or less, and the Pirates still lost.
That sounds like Matt
Like,
Cain when he pitched for the Giants. He throw some great
Yeah.
gems and lose, 1-0.
It's-
Brutal.
I feel bad for him because, like, I mean, you look at and we'll talk more about Detroit, but like you look at what Tarek Skubal's doing in Detroit, and also another generational talent at pitching, and Detroit is Detroit, man. All right, let's move into your 2 division. The Dodgers, 2 games up over the Padres. What's that? 14 games above 500. 19-8 at home. They're struggling away because they're 15-14. That's probably where most of the issue with Erika's aneurysms come from, is because she keeps watching away games. She just need to. Dodger fans, just watch and go to home games. Don't just pretend the road games don't exist. That's how you get through the season.
Home games too, and let's be fair here. The Dodgers got annihilated by the Cubs, 16-0 at home.
Right, that was like early in the season,
It
though.
doesn't matter.
They were still waiting. They were still waiting for the winter mist to arrive out of LA.
You know what? The Giants got fucking swept by the Tigers. Fucking the Giants got swept. Okay, talk shit to him, not me.
But there's a difference. The Tigers are a good baseball team, so it's respectable. It's respectable to get swept by the Tigers. Boston got swept by the Tigers, so like I can't talk shit, because
we're just a deferred team. Leave us alone.
the Los Angeles Dodgers, their wins, like their payroll, are deferred. And then, man, let's talk about your Giants. Kind of down there a little bit, but still 6 games above 500, 31-25.
They're not hitting nothing. They're slumping like crazy. Their pitching has been really good. Their bullpen is the best in the league.
Oh yeah,
right
absolutely.
now, and they can't produce the runs. Very frustrating.
When you look at some of the numbers, Helio Ramos is leading the team with a batting average of 288. He's been an insane player. Like, just respectfully, like, he has been unreal. Wilmer Flores is leading the team with 10 home runs. I feel like with the talent on that team, that number should be higher for not just him, but like you've got Ramos and Flores are at 10 home runs each. And then Chapman has 9, and then you go Jung Hoo Lee has 6, Adames has 5, and then you've got like a bunch of 3, 2, 1 scattered. Like, you should have a lot more than that. And look at some of these strikeout numbers too. Willie Adames already has struck out 64 times already. Ramos has already struck out 55 times. Chapman has already struck out 57 times. This is your problem. You're swinging at pitches you're not supposed to. Get back to basics.
Yeah, and balls you damn well know you shouldn't be swinging at.
I'd be willing to bet their chase rate is through the roof. That's not going to get you anywhere, especially not with how competitive the National League wild card's going to be.
Yeah, no. What drives me crazy is that they get runners on base and then they ground in the double plays. Ground double plays. They're rally killing themselves. This is brutal.
It's hard to. It's got to be frustrating, and I know that when we get to talk about the Red Sox, I'm gonna have a whole lot to bitch about. But it's got to be frustrating to have seen so much of an improvement to start off, and then all of a sudden, it's just flat.
Yeah, not just one player. It's 5, 6 players, just flat. So yeah, that's a bad time for all 6 to go down. Just you have to hit their way out of it. There's no magic pill for it. Just got to keep swinging away and hopefully hit their way out of it.
And you can definitely try. your team batting average is 231. It should be. You don't want it that low. You've only had 4 intentional walks. Really, less than 200 walks so far this season for, in total. Like, pitch selection, they have got pitch selection for batters. Pitch recognition. Yep. I know all the teams have those batting cages now where the machine will throw everything exactly how the pitcher that they're going to face will.
Yep.
They need to spend some time with that. You got to work on that. You got to know when to hit, because that's brutal.
Yep.
That
was fun.
Looking at. Oh man, it's going to be just as bad when we get to the Red Sox. And what's crazy is the D-backs aren't out of it. The 27 and 29, they have pretty even split home and away. Their run differential is negative, but it's only a -6. And, so they're not too far out of it. If they start finding consistency offensively again, which is what they were doing to start the season, you're going to be in a much better position, because they're only 3-7 in their last 10. And then you definitely don't want that as you're trying to bounce back and get in a position for a wild card, because it is very possible that the AL West could have 4 teams in the playoffs. But the Giants and the D-backs, and I'm going to even say the Padres, have got to get it together, because the Cubs, the Phillies, the Braves, the Cardinals, the Phillies, the Braves, those are the Mets and the Braves. Those are all going to be teams that are fighting for it.
Yep.
So that's All right, so let's move on to the American League. Go ahead and start with the East. Obviously, the Yankees, one of the top teams in baseball, the top 5 for sure. 34 and 20, 18 and 9 at home, 16 and 11 away. Very respectful. 112 run differential, plus 112. That's, the only team that's better is obviously the Cubs, and that's just ridiculous.
It's torpedo bats.
Them torpedo bats. I mean, are we going to actually start testing Aaron Judge for steroids at this point? Like, it's very clear.
No,
he's juicing. Come on, it's okay. We can say it. We're not forced meeting yet. He's juicing.
No.
Come on, Craig.
No.
Oh, you're killing me. You got to give me some hope, man. Come on, give me some hope. You saw it firsthand. You saw what happened. You got to tell me there's got to be some kind of sign that he's like, slipping it between his toes or something like that. Like, give me something.
Nope. He's legit. It's all him.
And it is all him too. Like,
it's all
just all of it. It's all of it. Aaron Judge leads the Yankees in literally every hitting category. His batting average is 395. He's hitting 18 home runs, 47 RBIs. His on-base percentage is 488, and he has 81 hits. Literally leading the Yankees in every category.
But how old is he right now?
26, 27?
No, he's 33.
Oh, dang, we were wrong.
What?
I thought he was
younger
than that. Yeah, he's 30. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
According to ESPN, Aaron Judge is 33. Yeah, because he was born in April of 92. He's 30. That is his real age.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Damn,
I thought he was like 27, and he's just.
That's the thing. I know.
He's just hitting his peak.
Yeah.
I thought he was way younger than that, honestly. Like.
No, I did too. Like I was like 26, 27 years old. Which honestly, if you think about it, at his age, hitting 395, leading the Yankees, the New York Yankees, in every hitting category. And he's probably, I would be willing to bet, if you look at the league's stats for hitting, he's probably top batting average, 3rd in the league for home runs, league for RBIs, first for hits. Like, I mean, outside of stolen bases, like, which, I mean, he's been a stolen base guy anyway. I mean, he's dominating he's for every offensive category. That's
Yeah.
Aaron freaking Judge, man.
Yeah.
Aaron freaking Judge, man. Then Tampa Bay Rays 28-27. Their run differential is only plus 20. Pretty even split home and away. Not really actually lost more games at home than away, but they're playing in Steinbrenner Field, so that's probably going to be a little demoralizing. It's 7-3 in their last 10, though, so they're doing all right. When I look at the thing for the Rays, though, is when I look at their numbers, like they're not dominating in anything, but like Jonathan Aranda has a batting average of 315. Brandon Lowe has 11 home runs and 30 RBIs. Like, there's nothing spectacular. They're just doing just enough to win games. And I think that they are, when you look at their, where's it at? Their starting pitchers, 1, 2, 3. 3 of the 5 starting pitchers have an ERA south of 4. Taj Bradley has 4.38, which isn't horribly disrespectful because he leads the team in strikeouts. So he's still getting it done. He just gives up a few more runs. And then Shane Baz, which anybody that expects anything out of Shane Baz hasn't watched baseball. Which I think he's a newer player. I'm just giving him shit. Yeah, he's only 25. I think this is only like his second or third year in the majors, and he's got a horrible mustache and looks like a character like the Fallout TV series. But I mean, how is it that the Rays have bottom 10 in payroll and still somehow manage to put to make it difficult for other teams in the American League, because they're still in a position right now where they're only 2 games out of the wild card slot right now. And they're only 1 game above 500. This is how close the wild card is, because your 3 teams that have it right now all have a 30-25 record. The Guardians, the Stros, and the Twins. Like, that's insane. That's the Americas. Like, we look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of the 9 players that I consider to still be in attention, or 9 teams that I consider to still be close enough to being in contention. So that's 5 games back or less. 9 teams. The National League has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one of those is the D-backs. The next one closest to them is the Reds. And I've seen nothing out of that. I mean, the D-backs have to find it. The Reds, I don't think, will. So it's really not as open in the National League as it is in the American. Would you agree?
Agree. Erika, you agree?
100%.
But the Blue Jays are Canadian, so nobody cares about them. The Blue Jays are going to continue to fall. They have a negative 28 run differential. They're not scoring enough points. As they get into the later part of the season where they have less home games, because they always try to front load the Blue Jays home schedule because they don't want to be in September, late September, October, and worried about games not being able to take place because of a heavy snowfall. So they're not as great on the road, so they're gonna fall. And then hold on, let me make sure. Okay, explicit content. Just making sure that's up before I start talking about the Red Sox. If they don't fire Andrew fucking Bailey yesterday, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Our pitching, our bullpen is god-awful. Our starters are inconsistent. Like, if it wasn't for the fact that we have been doing very well offensively, we wouldn't even be at 27-31. And this is just ridiculous. Like, Giolito can't stay consistent. Walker Buehler gets ejected from his first start back from the IL because of an ump with a grudge. Like, make it make sense, Craig.
Can't help you there, man.
I mean,
Just
you guys
it's
both
a
got swept by the Tigers, so I don't think
it's a
he's got
bad
any
storm.
issues.
You got
What'd
assaulted
you
by
say?
the Cubs. You got assaulted by the Cubs aggressively, like you were at a frat house on a Friday night,
Get her.
and you want to talk about getting swept by the Tigers?
Listen, I enjoyed nights like that back in the day. Shut up. And then, no offense, I had to be here with you while it was happening. So, I mean, the hot bitch that walked in after made it all better, though.
Oh God, that dress.
That woman was gorgeous.
Whew. But the
and I got to talk to her in the bathroom.
Never mind. No, I'd say something to get me in trouble and I'm gonna get canceled. The Red Sox got to figure it out. The pitching's got to get it going because it's just ridiculous. I'm done with Andrew Bailey. Just done. And I think if Craig Breslow doesn't come to that realization sooner rather than later, or if he's not more involved in trying to get things figured out, I'm going to be very unhappy because I'm already unhappy with Craig Breslow's leadership. He's how they handled Rafi Devers. Now it's Bregman. And now, because of how they handled that, Alex Bregman is out for probably 2 months. And they don't, and they're limited on options because Trevor Story's useless. They called up Marcelo Mayer. He can't seem to find his groove in the majors. Our best fielding option right now, outside of Christian Campbell, is David Sogard, who is just like David Sogard is that first baseman you get because you stayed at the bar for too long and the lights came on. You really hadn't picked anybody to take home yet. How do they get Roman Anthony up to the Red Sox? DFA Trevor Story. And it's time. I'm sorry. I feel bad for him for what happened last year with Trevor Story. That shoulder injury, when I watched it on the clubhouse again, it just ripped open that wound again for me because I watched that last year happen on TV live. I was watching it when it did. And I feel bad for him. But what's up, Gene? But at the same time, it's like, why they got to do something because Trevor Story's just useless. Like DFA Trevor Story or trade Trevor Story. Send him back to the Rockies. They make dumb deals all the time. Send him to the Rockies for a couple of bullpen arms that don't suck. And then let's pull up Roman Anthony because I'm done with Trevor Story.
Hey, but really quick, since Gene's there. Hey, Gene, how about that Thunder? You see that game? Hey.
No, and Kyle, like I said, I legit feel bad for Trevor Story. Like he tried, and what frustrates me is I think this is going to end up being like a Chris Sale situation. Because Chris Sale came to the Red Sox, struggled, kept dealing with injury issues, except for one good season, which we didn't even get from Story. But Sale kept getting injured. He leaves because the Red Sox are sick of it, goes to Atlanta and cooks. So with our luck, Trevor Story, wherever he goes next, he's going to cook.
Yeah, and Tony, you always do say a lot of the time the environment plays a role in it. And maybe it's just time for that environment change.
And it's entirely possible.
I'm not ready to listen to you fucking bitch because then it's going to be like Chris Sale all over again. And I don't want to listen to that shit. But, if that's what he needs, then That's
what he
he
needs. I mean, I'm going to bitch more if he stays on the team and keeps thinking it up. So just find some, because at least I can bitch about you getting better. Problem to have.
Your Red Sox have a finite window. And that finite window has initials NP, the New England Patriots, because come July, when training camp starts, if the Red Sox are doing what they're doing now, interest is going to die, and interest starts for the NFL, and bye-bye Red Sox interest, bye-bye fan base, goodbye, season over.
The money's going to drop, and they kind of need it right now because they need to be able to spend money, because you're going to have to pay Roman Anthony almost as soon as you get him called up. You're going to have to pay Marcel Mayer as soon as he gets it figured out when he gets called up. Like, they're going to have to spend some money if they want to keep that talent, because that's the future of the team. So
I don't think you see Anthony before September. I'm sorry.
I know. Honestly, I don't.
Because of the contract, like you pointed out. Once they bring him up, they pay him. His major league clock starts.
Yep.
And they want to delay that as long as possible.
I don't think they wanted to call it Mayer. I don't think they wanted to call him up yet. I think if Bregman doesn't get hurt, we don't see Mayer until September either, because they don't want.
Agreed.
They don't want to risk having him up there and having to keep him up there, and he's not ready. Which is the situation that Boston's in now. But the problem is, when it comes to Boston, it's hard to make trades because there's not a lot of good options for first base or third base on the market right now.
Nope.
As far as what's available. So they got it. It's tough, but they got to figure something out. Okay, I'm done being depressed. Let's talk about the Detroit Tigers. 21-8 at home, 16-12 away, so very respectful numbers. Plus 84 run differential, so they're definitely scoring the points. They're not just winning games, they're winning games. And a lot of it with the Detroit Tigers is it's not just that they're doing well offensively, it's that their pitching is doing an insanely well. Of course, you got Tarek Skubal, who has a 2.49 ERA, which is just insane. But Jack Flaherty is sub-4. Jackson Joby is at 2.96, which there were some rumors that Jackson Joby might be something up there. So that's something to keep an eye on. Casey Mins, 2.4. Casey Mins, 2.45. But he's only had 8 starts. But there is a lot of consistency. And then when you look at your batting average against, Tarek Skubal, it's 203. Flaherty is 215. Joby is 249. Reese Olson, 215. Casey Mins, 215. Kiter Montero, 265. This is insane. They're just not giving up runs.
I would say, and to the Tigers fans out there, the American League out there, this is not an insult in any way towards the Tigers, what I'm about to say. They're young and they're dumb, which I don't mean dumb in a bad way. I mean, they're not smart enough to realize that they shouldn't be doing this at such a young age. They're just out there, they throw their gloves out there and they win, and they're really good and they're really young, and they're just going to get better and better and better. And they also have great camaraderie. They hang out together after games. They're just young and dumb and having a blast.
It's a good culture. And
very good culture.
You want to see it on every team. So I hope for the city of Detroit, I hope that the Tigers continue to make a push. But I mean, even on the offensive side, Gleyber Torres, which who would have thought that after he left the Yankees he'd be doing very much of anything? He's hitting 285. Riley Green's hitting 274. Kerry Carpenter's hitting 275. McKinstry's hitting 272. Javi Baez is hitting 278. They've got Spencer Torkelson, which I think he has a stupid name. I mean that respectfully, but I think he just has a stupid name. I don't know why. But he also has 13 home runs this year. So with the expectations that were on the Tigers, they're definitely overperforming, but it's kind of more of an average performance of what you would see from a team, but their pitching is just so damn good that they only have to play average. This is one of those like the 2002 Baltimore Ravens. It wasn't their offense that got into that Super Bowl. It was their defense. And that's what the success is for the Tigers. Detroit won't keep the pace up. Will they win the Central? Maybe. They won't be this dominant. I think they fall short in the playoffs. I think that because you're right. I think it's youth. I don't think it's going to stay consistent. When you get to the point where you're playing real playoff baseball, I think they struggle. Guardians or Royals make a run this year. I think it's possible. I think if it's either team, it's the Royals. I'm less bullish on the Guards right now. They just keep dropping games they shouldn't. And that's just, because we're getting ready to talk about the Guards next, actually, I believe. Yeah, because they are second division right now. They're 6 games back, but there's only a game between the Guardians, the Twins, and the Royals. And if the Tigers do start to slow down, that gap very, very quickly. The Guards are 15-10 at home, 15-15 away, so relatively even. The Guards have a negative run differential. And to me, I look at that as a sign. The reason why I like that number is because that tells me both like how they're scored. Like when you're watching somebody play Call of Duty, you're looking to see what their kill death ratio is. Are they getting more kills than deaths? Helping more than you're hurting. And when you see that negative number, that's that negative KD, that's that liability, that's that thing you're not doing enough to help the team win. And so that to me says that the Guardians could fall short. The Twins, they do have a positive run differential. They're also at the same record, 30-25, 18-8 at home, 12-17 away. So they need to work on their away consistency. They're only 5-5. Which really that's what most of the division is right now anyway, is around that number, as far as their last 10 are concerned. But the Twins are another team. They always kind of sit around this spot at this time of year, I feel like. And then once you get to the point where you get closer to the break, Carlos Correa starts thinking about his timeshare in Cancun that he wants to go back to. And then it just kind of snowballs from there. And then the Royals, who have the player that would probably be a shoo-in for MVP every year if it wasn't for Aaron Judge, and that's Bobby Witt Jr. If you don't know who Bobby Witt Jr. is, you should. He leads the team in RBIs right now. He's got 30 RBIs. He's hitting 290. He already has 20 stolen bases and 5 home runs. So he's definitely always been more of a contact hitter. He's getting on base. He's moving. He's turning a single into a triple. Obviously, I'm not going to say he's exactly like Ricky Henderson because he doesn't tan as well as Ricky did. But he's a speed demon, and that's something that the Royals, like within the organization, historically they do well with. You look at that the 2014 and 2015 World Series years, because obviously the Giants won in 2014, but they won it in 2015. But speed, I can tell you, I lived in Kansas City. The speed was the topic of conversation. The Royals love to have quickness on the base paths. Vinny Pasquantino, quick guy. Bobby Witt Jr., quick guy. Mikhail Garcia, he's got some legs under. Jonathan India has found his legs, amazingly enough. He hasn't stolen any bases yet, but he's already got where I just saw it. He's already got 10 doubles. He's getting on base. That's what they need. Bobby Witt Jr., by the way, has 21 doubles and 3 triples. And that's just stupid. Bobby Witt Jr. isn't just getting on base. He's getting on all the bases. Just collectively, all of them. And I think this is Salvi Perez's last year to make a push. So I think the Royals are a wild card team, and I think the Royals are a team that the Royals could be the team that end Detroit's season.
Yeah.
It's very realistic. And then let's see here. Okay. The AL Central can kiss my ass now. Because nobody wants to talk about the White Sox. Okay, so the AL West. I think this is the division that I think is going to have more competition in it than any of the others in the American League. The Mariners are at 30-23. They're only a game ahead of the Astros, they've both been right there neck and neck. Run differential is not hugely different. The Mariners have plus 27. The Astros plus 36. The Astros are 7-3 in their last 10. The Mariners are 6-4. These teams are almost identical right now.
And this is almost about that time that the Astros will take over.
Yep. Then this is when it happens every year.
It's clockwork. We all know this. That's what is about to happen.
The only thing that I can hope that this means that the Boston is going to call Seattle and try again for that Luis Castillo trade that they tried it before the start of the season. Could you imagine having to face a pissed off Boston lineup because they got it in the 7th wild card and their rotation is Walker Buehler, Lucas Giolito, Luis Castillo, just for their first 3. Tanner Houck, if he remembers where the strike zone is, I'm pretty sure he'll be in there a little bit. Like that's a deadly rotation if everybody's locating. So I would love for that to happen. But do you think there's a chance that the Mariners can keep the division?
No.
What do you think?
It's just clockwork. That's the only reason I say that. So
Craig, do you think is there any sustainability there for the Mariners? Do you think there's any chance they can hold on?
God, I really don't know. I mean, Houston's going to come on, and I don't know, man. That's a really good question. I'm going to pussy out and say I don't know right now. I just don't know.
They're such identical teams right now. It's hard to see. Like, push has got to come to shove. I think for those two organizations, when do they play again next? When do they play each other? That's my question.
And when do they play the A's too? Because they can feast off the A's.
They do. So they have. So the Mariners have Minnesota, Baltimore, LA, Arizona, Cleveland, and the Red Sox, Cubs, Minnesota again, Texas. So wow, they don't play for the next couple of months.
Wow.
So that means that they've got. Have they even played? They've played the Astros one series so far this season. Two. So they've got at least.
Because they just finished up a series against them.
7. So they've got 7 in 16 games. So you've got 2 more series.
Yeah.
Series with the Astros and the Mariners, and since those are going to be closer to or after the break, that last series could if things are going the way that they're going now.
Yep.
Very well could.
Yep.
Well, let me see here. No, they need to invest in. No, Gene, listen, listen, Gene, listen, Gene. Shut the fuck up. They need to send. The Mariners need to send Castillo Jr. to Boston. Just stop harshing my vibe, bro. Okay. You're coming up into my magical shop of wonders, breaking shit like a bull. Trying to enjoy the thought that it's possible that we can still get Luis Castillo Jr.
In his mind, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. No. Okay.
Tony's
So-
looking past the results.
I am. You can shut the fuck up too. You're in my house. Don't disrespect me in my house. It's rude. Okay. So we are near the end of our show. I do want to let everybody know. I did kind of make a small post about it on the Podcast Name Deferred Facebook page. I do have Podcast Name Deferred episodes now on Spotify. You can search Podcast Name Deferred and listen to us. All of the episodes that we have done live are on Spotify now. I don't think I'm going to be able to go back and get those first few this season where we weren't. I might, but I'm not. It's just, unfortunately, with time and everything else I have going on right now, is not going to happen. But we do have all the live episodes are up. This episode today will be on Spotify by tomorrow at noon Eastern. I will actually probably work on updating it later on tonight. So you may be up there when you wake up in the morning if you mix part of today's episode. Please make sure to show some love to Wire to Wire Sports. They take such good care of us. You will see Erika and I Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on the Sports Report podcast right here. If you're seeing this show, you can see Sports Report. You can get to hang out with us. She should be at home next week because I'm sick of having to hold farts in while she's in the office. Thank you so much for everybody joining us this week. We appreciate you. We appreciate the support. Merch will be coming soon with the regular logo. I'm actually going to get Craig's shirt out to him next week. And then I'll let everybody know when that's up in the shop once I can get with Alex and get that taken care of. We appreciate every single one of you and the support that you give that makes what we do fun. Thank you so much. Have a great night.